We all look forward to Monday's showdown between the Crimson Tide and the Clemson Tigers. WVUA 23's Bethany Miller is live tonight in New Orleans with more on what the teams were doing in the Big Easy today. Hi, Bethany.
Hey, Mike, it's a chilly one downtown here in New Orleans tonight, but I'm doing just fine. Now, tomorrow's the big day for media as we meet with both Alabama and Clemson players and coaches. But today we got a small sampling of that, meeting with Tigers co-offensive coordinators and their players, as well as Jeremy Pruitt and his Bama defense. And when asked whether or not anyone had ever questioned their intent to play football at the University of Alabama, the Crimson Tide players said, well, they got it a lot.
Everybody had their 2 cents to put in, but they all had you're from New Jersey, you're not going to play down there. They were just saying a whole bunch of different excuses for me not to play, and I was like, all right, I'm not worried about what you have to say. I'm just going to go down there and go to work and do what I do. But yeah, almost everybody has something negative to say.
I heard that, many times. It's always playing in the back of my head, but I tend not to focus on it. I'm glad to be in the position that I'm at, and just looking forward to the next game.
And as I mentioned earlier, the big media day is tomorrow, and you can expect full coverage of that on the Crimson Tide Kickoff Show on Monday ahead of the big game. And of course, Gary Harris will be back later in the show to talk some more Bama football. Reporting live in the Big Easy for WVUA 23 Sports, I'm Bethany Miller.
Everybody, live from New Orleans, I'm Gary Harris. Jeremy Pruitt is currently wearing 2 hats. He is the new head coach at the University of Tennessee while still coordinating the defense here for the University of Alabama, getting ready for the upcoming college football playoff semifinal against Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. But that meteoric rise didn't come without hard work. He's made his stops. In fact, just 10 years ago, he was a high school assistant to Russ Probst at Hoover High School. Pruitt says one reason he thinks he's been successful is that everywhere he's been, he's connected with the players because he's always remembered that the game of football is supposed to be fun.
I'll tell you this. To me, coaching football is not like going to work, and I think if you're going to have success in your work environment, you got to enjoy where you're going. And I think that having a positive outlook for the players, if the players are excited about coming to practice, then they're going to have a productive practice. If they don't like it, they're not going to have a productive practice. So the bottom line is we need to find a way to make it enjoyable.
Clemson's Hunter Renfrow has become the Tigers' unlikely Bama killer. The former walk-on wide receiver has 4 touchdowns against the Tide in the 2 games, including last year's game winner as the final seconds ran out. Bama defensive backs Mika Fitzpatrick and Levi Wallace have a lot of respect for Renfrow and say the guy just knows how to get open.
He just does the job really well. He's not gonna out physical you or outrun you. He gets the ball in space. He makes people miss, and he's a real shifty guy, smaller guy, so he's hard to tackle in space. So when he does that. And he has also other great receivers around him, so you can't really just focus on him.
Hunter's, quick. I think he's probably one of the best receivers in the nation. Just with his agility that he brings to the table, it's definitely has deceptive speed, definitely. I don't know why people think he's slow. Someone said he was slow in the other room, but he's definitely one of the faster receivers that we'll be playing against this year. I think one of the best as well.
Well, Clemson under Dabo Swinney employs co-offensive coordinators, Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott. Today, that duo talked about having to face that tough Alabama defense for 3 consecutive seasons in college football's playoff.
Wow. Where do I start? First of all, it seems like they got about 30 defensive linemen, and they all look the same. They all play the same, and so it's a lot like the last 2 years. I mean, they're built from the inside out in the trenches, very, very, very strong at the point of attack. Their linebackers run sideline to sideline as good as anybody that I've seen, and then obviously they got the best defensive back in the country in Minka.
It's very impressive that with some of the departures that they've had over the last 2 years defensively that there's no drop-off whatsoever. very physical. They make you earn everything. There's no free plays out there. You know, literally every run and every pass completion, there's a guy right there.
That's going to do it for our Sugar Bowl coverage from New Orleans. I'll see you back here tonight at 10. Reporting live from New Orleans, I'm Gary Harris. The news at 6 will continue right after this.